This is the Hog Central Podcast. And now, here's your host, Steve Sullivan.
Welcome to another edition of the Hog Central Podcast. I'm Steve Sullivan. A pleasure to be alongside former team captain David Basil, also the host of Morning Mayhem. You got the Broyles Award. On your mind now, the Little Rock Touchdown Club, the Cliff Harris Award. One thing you didn't do as a player, you did tackle Bo Jackson, but you never played Arkansas State.
No, look at this. What's this here? Holy cow. It must be a significant week here. No, we never did. Listen, I remember as a player, I never understood, how come we're not playing Arkansas State? You know, where I'm from, that's a common thing that everybody plays everybody, but not in Arkansas, and I understand why. Because of Coach Broyles. But, yeah, it was always a foreign thing to me. I was like, okay, let's play.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go.
I saw a stat, and I assume this is true. 32 states have at least two Division I teams. And Arkansas, Arkansas was the only state where the two teams didn't play.
Yeah. Again, I saw an article today, Sully, where it's really a bigger game. It's the war on the line is for Arkansas State and this is why. I don't care. I'm tired of the argument. Just play the game. Who cares? You know what? It's more compelling to me than what we just watched.
I think it's good for War Memorial Stadium. When was the last time you could call a Razorback football game an event at War Memorial?
No, we haven't had one. Usually the teams have not been great that Arkansas is playing.
Yeah. And I think this, and Sam Pittman, he had his press conference today. I think he needs to just shut up when he gets to this question.
Well, and I asked you why you said that, because he said he just didn't see any value.
He compared it to Mississippi State is closer when he played them, and they're not closer. But Mississippi State is closer, and just a distance thing, not realizing that, you're going 2.5 hours away and the people still love you here.
Yeah, I think if he just walked down the hall and listen to Bobby Petrino. Bobby Petrino says the right things. He said, "I love Little Rock." That's what he just needs to say. If he wants to handle that separately, that's fine. It just he gets no value out of going, I don't want to play. It better just say, "Hey, I'm going to play him." We'll play in a farm field. That's what he should say. By the way, Sully, too, the line, 21 points, 21.5.
It makes it
Arkansas's favorite on the Oakland Sports app, by the way. Oakland Sports app. That's not me saying that.
Yeah, it makes it a bigger deal because they haven't played. Because we didn't think this game would ever happen.
Right.
Those that have followed sports for 30 years thought that ship had sailed.
And somebody said, "Well, the game would have meant more 20 years ago." Okay. Again, I'd rather it's interesting to me than what we just played.
Yeah.
Alabama A&M from normal Alabama, FCS division. I'd rather see us play an in-state team where you got kids from, some kids from Arkansas. It's a more compelling storyline.
Jaquez Cross, the running back, it was a star for Fordyce.
Yeah.
That kid wanted to play for the Hogs.
Yeah. I just, we've got too much on the line. I don't care. Just play the game. But you know what? Auburn didn't say that. Alabama didn't say that. Nobody else says, "Oh my gosh, we got too much to lose." Just go play the game and beat the brains out.
Hey, you should beat them.
Yeah.
I mean, you're the team out buying players at the higher level. And Arkansas State, let's face it, two of their offensive linemen got, picked over, and one's at Virginia, another one's at another school, and they had to rebuild. And they had a lot of question marks coming to this first game. I mean, they got Jalen Rayner back at quarterback.
Yeah, he is a very good player.
He's a 3-year starter, started as a freshman. The only reason I think he's still at Arkansas State, he kind of regressed a little as a sophomore, had a decent year. But what a start he had Saturday.
Yeah,
he was 26 of 32, 345 yards.
They've got a very excellent quarterback, excellent running back, excellent receiver, and an excellent offensive line. They got 4 good players. The rest,
Corey Rucker, and he kind of rebuilt the offensive line. Some guys from inside the program, and a lot of questions for Arkansas State heading into that first game. And no question, Arkansas is a step up for them.
Yeah.
But
listen,
so is Arkansas State compared to Alabama A&M.
You betcha. Matter of fact, who did Arkansas State beat? Southeast Missouri?
Yeah.
I mean, look at who Arkansas played, and both teams blew them out. I think this could be an interesting. I think defensively, Arkansas State's going to have trouble slowing down Arkansas, though.
Yeah, we both felt the same way leaving that stadium on Saturday with the Razorbacks, that it didn't feel like a 52-7 win.
No.
In the fact that they didn't really dominate the line of scrimmage. In the first half, you didn't see many tackles for losses.
Right.
You didn't see him pushing off the line of scrimmage. You didn't see Mike Washington go 60 or 70 yards. That was troubling.
Yeah, score's a little deceiving. It was 17-7 with 6 minutes to go in the first half, and we're looking around, and I made a post, and everybody got mad at me. I said, maybe we should be Bobby back to the sideline. I just was being facetious, and maybe he should chew out some people on the sideline, because we looked sort of flat, and they came at us, and We weren't running the ball, and we weren't getting pressure, and we were giving up big chunks of passing, 15-15, that kind of deal.
And Taylen Green was on point.
Yeah,
I can remember a couple of bad throws, but
he looked good. Yeah,
he had to make a couple of third down runs that I didn't think he'd have to make in this type of game, where it was Taylen circling the defense and just getting the first down and taking a few shots. I didn't like seeing him taking shots in that first game.
That's what we thought we would see with Taylen. He looked good. He obviously second year, you can tell the difference. Got he threw 10 different receivers, I think, caught balls a day or 9, something like that. But he looked good. And you're right though. At times, there was a little bit of pressure at times. A couple missed assignments, but it was the running game, I think, that was the bigger, wow. We saw this 2 years ago against, I think it was Central Washington or somebody that...
We had heard all preseason that was the big difference in the offense, that they had recruited these linemen, they had Mike Washington, that they were going to be able to run the football.
Yeah, and I think we averaged 4 yards a carry there for a while, and then it opened up a little bit in the second half, but you didn't see what we thought. Again, the only reason I'm saying this is against an FCS, historically black college that, just like from the SWAC, you don't expect them putting up that much of a fight there against a team like Arkansas.
And if they weren't penalized so much in the first half, it would have been even closer. They had like a 45-yard gain wiped out because a guy tried to block someone 30 yards downfield. It could have been a closer game in the first half.
Here's the deal. People go, well, they won 52-7. They did, and they played better in the second half. But why do we start slow against? This is the first game of the year. We should be excited. We should blow their doors off the first quarter, just like we did last year. Why does it take a quarter or 2 quarters to get this team going? I don't know.
Do you think they'll be that much better on the line of scrimmage on Saturday against Arkansas State?
I don't know. I think passing game, they can do what they want to do. I really do. I think passing game, they can throw it around. But against some better teams, if they don't look better than they did last week running the ball, that's going to cause a problem.
And it may have been a case of just the first game and playing a team like that, but you didn't really see them attack vertically down the field much. It was a lot of crossing routes, a lot of underneath stuff.
When they did, it was successful.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about the passing game. I'm worried about our ability to push people, like you said. And then on defense, the same thing we talked about last week. Can we get a push on defensive line? I think we got a sack in the third quarter. Didn't get one in the first half. We weren't getting a lot of penetration, and so saw some movement, saw some players going in and out there, and then had some missed assignments.
They played a lot of folks on defense. I think the highest snaps was like 35 for a player.
Yeah.
And, I hate to use like Pro Football Focus as a Bible, but it's kind of a guide. But the best lineman on the defensive side was Quincy Rhodes, according to them.
Yeah, that was the way he had the sack, and he made a couple other plays. It just wasn't just a dominating performance, even though they shut him down the second half. I think the highest tackler was four tackles. So a lot of people
fundamental errors, like not setting the edge and a guy running around for 25 yards and no one being home on the edge.
Yeah, they missed some assignments.
They said they missed 6 assignments on the first series.
New coach for Alabama A&M, so they probably came out with some things maybe they weren't prepared for, and that happens every once in a while. But you're so athletic, you should be able to come out.
But you thought you should have overwhelmed them physically.
That's the thing. That's the old player going, well, wait a minute. I know we won 52-7. And I know we didn't win 70-7, but it was the way we look. It was 17-7 with 6 minutes to go in the first half.
With 15 or 20,000 A-State fans in the house, you don't want to give them life early.
No, it's not the fans. You don't want to give the team.
With Rayner, he's feeling good going into this game, and they're looking at that defense and thinking we can get some things done. Something was disturbing with the grades.
Yeah.
Both Sorey was the lowest rated guy against the pass. He's a great blitzer.
Yeah, and then we were soft on coverage early on. We weren't playing them real tight. We were playing off of them.
We kind of turned the tight end 13 loose.
Yeah, a couple times. So that was a little head scratcher. We'll scratch it up to maybe first game.
Yeah,
we'll do that. But they got to look better than they did Saturday against. Listen, I watched Notre Dame last night. Yeah. You better be ready to play against those guys. Wow, I got some studs.
Yeah, it makes it more compelling. The fact I feel a little different about the game right now than I felt last week.
In what way?
And Arkansas didn't look as good as I thought.
Yeah, no, in other words, it might be more competitive.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I thought the line, 21, I thought it'd be closer to the 30 or something like that.
Yeah, 21 is not a gigantic line.
Yeah, someone looked beyond that 52-7, and
yeah, again, I think Arkansas will score points on them. The question is, how many points can Arkansas State produce against us? And again, that is a good quarterback. I mean, 3 years of experience. They got a good passing game.
And the thing that surprised even his head coach on Saturday was his escapability. Yeah. He hadn't shown that in his first 2 years, and he said he's a better athlete. But he also said, Butch Jones is a smart guy. He said, we did things against Southeast Missouri that we can't do against Arkansas or Iowa State.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny, Sully. I just was going through my head. I was, what you kept telling me about this weekend and about the environment too. This is going to be something, Sully, besides the game. There's going to be something. It's going to be an event there that people are going.
Well,
I've had people asking me for tickets now for the last week and a half.
The reality is UAPB, UCA, Little Rock, when they play Arkansas in sports, it's kind of just a celebration that we're playing another in-state team.
Yeah.
There is an angst with a lot of A-State fans for Arkansas, and I think that's a good thing. That's what you want in a rivalry.
Hey,
you can't call it a rivalry because they don't play that very often.
Yeah, somebody said no, they don't hate each other. Who cares? I don't care. They don't hate each other. Just play the game.
I remember back in '87. It's not the same feeling. As back then.
Yeah. I don't care. Play the game and play your best and beat them bad.
Yeah.
Or Arkansas State upset Arkansas, whatever. Just play the game. Quit worrying about all the things. Just play the game.
But that environment at that game in '87, there were probably 90% Razorback fans, but Arkansas State was up 18 early in the second half, and all you could hear at Old Barnhill Arena was, "We are A-State." Yeah. It was kind of a surreal feeling.
It's going to be surreal. I'm telling you, for those of us who've been around a long time, it's going to be surreal to see Arkansas State on the same field as
plus,
Arkansas.
you've seen Tennessee really brings a lot of fans. Alabama brings a lot of fans. But this is going to be a visiting team with a bigger piece of the stadium than we've ever seen.
True. What do they get, 10,000? 15?
The athletic director he said they went in and bought a lot of Arkansas tickets. So he's thinking 15 to 20,000.
Okay.
They all aim high. So,
yeah.
And Sam Pittman, I don't think has any idea what he's getting into, because he just assumes it's going to be the same as these other games he's played in Little Rock.
As far as atmosphere and all those kind of things.
Yeah.
It's again, it's better just coach, don't worry about, if somebody asks a question about Little Rock, just say, hey, listen, I'm going to play. I'm going to win. I don't care where it's at. I'm going to go win.
Yeah, we've learned not to be a prisoner of the moment. I go back to that first half against Oklahoma State last year. When
I'd already penciled in Bobby Petrino, Broyles Award winner, and already going to be 5-0 start.
Yeah, so when you go to that first game, they have 31 new players, a lot on defense, a lot on offense that were new, and maybe you can chalk up some of the ineffectiveness. I go back to the fact, though, I was really concerned about the fact they just didn't push them off.
Yeah, we didn't see a physically dominating game like we thought. Second half was better. And then we saw, Omega Blake looked like, he's been getting rave reviews as a receiver, and he looked good.
He was good.
C.J. Brown, obviously, he got up and made some catches. So they got a lot of receivers. Again, this is not a team to measure. We said going in, you're not really going to know how good we are based on this first game. And so I will say I thought we would be more dominant than we were.
What did we hear in the off season? Bigger and stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that would appear to be a good matchup against a lower level team.
Yeah, remember, I told myself last year I would never bet on Arkansas again. Just not going to do it. And I got sucked in again, and I thought it was going to be like it was last year, 50 points in the first half, 17-7 with 6 minutes to go. Now they scored twice there at the end, real quick, short little drives, so it made it a little bit more, palatable, before then it happened. I just thought, sorry if I cost you money, all you Oakland apps folks. Sorry about that.
Oakland says by 21. Which way are you going this week? You staying away from the game?
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna do them again. One time that I cost people money this weekend, and I'm just not gonna do it again. So it's good. I'm just gonna root on the Razorbacks, not gonna bet on them at all.
Something behind the scenes. Taylen Green after the game.
How about that?
There were kids just chanting. Kids and adults.
Kids in the stadium, empty stadium, waited an hour and a half.
From all over from left, right, and in front. He's
screaming,
he stayed,
Taylen, before he even came out.
And he signed every autograph.
Yeah, he did. I sent that to Frank Fletcher, who sent it to Bobby, who sent it to Taylen. And, Kyle Parkinson said, man, he's such a good young man. And he was patient, signed all of them, and took him another, half hour to do that. And I've never seen that, Sully. You've been doing, you and I have been doing this 13 years on the backside. We've never seen kids stick around and be there.
He's a rock star now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he handles it so well.
Oh, my gosh, yes. He's in the, and we've had some really good quarterbacks, good people, but wow, he's first class. And
I don't care if it's Alabama A&M. He was lowering his shoulder. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
To get the first down.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I was surprised Coach Petrino kept him in there so long. I was getting a little nervous.
I think Coach Petrino was a little frustrated.
You think that's what it was? He just needed to get more.
Yeah, I kept him in all three quarters. Yeah. I thought it would be by half he'd be gone.
Yeah, we got a long way to go. Long way to go.
Hey, your gut feeling right now, I know you haven't watched Arkansas State, but what do you feel like we're going to see on Saturday?
I think they can score some points. I think we're just too much. We just have too much firepower throwing the ball and running the ball too. So I think it'll be tough for Arkansas State to keep up. I think they'll hang around a little bit and then they'll score some points. But I think it just, when you got Taylen Green and you're trying to match, you got to take care of him. You got to take care of running backs. You got to take care of receivers, tight ends. I just think a little bit too much for Arkansas State. They got a new defensive coordinator. Basically, they've got 80% of the players are new. So, I think they'll be competitive for a while. I think Arkansas pulls away there at the end.
I think they hit with their freshman linebacker, 10 tackles, 4 unassisted. Nigel Nelson, they got him from Florida. And, hey, give Butch Jones credit. I mean, he's recruited pretty well over there. When you have to reload at Arkansas State, it's a little different than reloading at Arkansas. You don't have the budget you have at Arkansas State than you have at Arkansas.
True. How big of a game do you think this is for Butch Jones?
Oh, I think it's big. I think he will not say it.
He won't say it, but he knows there's a lot of attention on this game for them.
And he knows the SEC. He knows he's got to step it up.
And he knows Arkansas is not Alabama and not a top-tier SEC team right now. They're just not. If you're going to get Arkansas, now's the time to get them when the program is not what it has been.
Yeah, and we really don't know one game into the season what Arkansas has.
Oaklawn Sports is so simple to use, anyone can do it. Probably even an ex-football player.
And you can take it anywhere. Pocket size, sort of like you, Raj.
Small perhaps, but powerful, like this offer.
Sign up now for Oaklawn Sports and get up to $1,000 in bonus bets.
That's like a do-over in case you make a questionable decision.
Too bad they can't do that for haircuts.
I'm calling your mom.
Now with new and easy funding options. Bet with the brand you trust. Bet with Oaklawn Sports.
Yeah, it again concerned me. It just was like I expect a little bit more domination there first half. Why did it take a half to get going there? But all right, everybody who wants to be positive, I'm gonna be positive. I just got to see it on the field. I mean, right off the bat. Right off the first series, come out there and act like you're excited to be there. And they can't listen. I'll give Alabama A&M credit. They came to play. They came to play. Give them credit.
Hey, what do you think of Travis Williams? He played, I guess the most anybody played was like 35 or 36 snaps. Where on the offensive side, the offensive lineman played 60, 65 snaps. He played a lot of people on Saturday. Yeah,
I think I saw some situations where I think he felt he needed to on the defensive line. He wasn't getting pressure, wasn't getting a push. I saw some linebackers let some guys run wide open that they were. So I think that was I don't know if he intended to do that, but I think it also was a response to how they were playing.
Yeah, some of the guys that kind of popped playing in a reserve role was Shakir Smalls, a defensive back from Maine.
Yeah, Sully, I like, Lou Holtz used to do that. Remember on offense, he would have every third series a second team. I love getting reps by backups because it helps him. All of a sudden somebody goes down, you're used to playing. So I don't have a problem. Yeah, I hope you're not replacing them because they're playing poorly, but I don't mind the second team getting reps.
Wyatt Simmons, son of Coach
Paul
Harding,
Simmons,
played 8 snaps, did very well when he was in there.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea. I don't think that's we were surprised that Taylen was in there so long, a quarterback. But speaking of, KJ Jackson, I told you, big, strong arm.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there's going to be a huge drop-off if something happens to Taylen.
I think this week it could be a 4-quarter game for Taylen.
Yeah,
first of many.
I think so. Yeah, it will be.
What do you think Bobby thinks? He's been around this state a while, and he knows, he's been to Arkansas State when he coached at other places.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
I think let me tell you what, it was clear we came to countdown to kickoff that the Buzz put on, and he loves Little Rock. He said it. Yeah. I love Little Rock. He never lost.
Think of the moments he had, too.
Yeah, and again.
That we didn't come to paint.
The Ryan Mallett years, so I think he doesn't care about the things that recruiting, the stadium's not as nice. He just knows he felt the energy when he was here as a coach and how special it was to play. You may not like it, and you may have legit reasons. He just likes it because he felt it was a great environment for his team to win.
Yeah. How about running into a home stadium when you have if they have 20 or 25, 15 or 20,000 A-State fans in there?
Yeah, it'll create an interesting energy in the stadium.
Yeah.
Remember what Mike Leach, the late Mike Leach, said? It was, when that stadium gets to rocking, it's one of the loudest. I think sometimes we forget about that. It's not as nice as the beautiful facility, which I get in Fayetteville. But when that place is rocking, it's a tough environment to play.
And when you have two fan bases in there, there's never a dull moment because someone's cheering for their school.
It is just amazing, Sully, that we're going to walk in that stadium. We're going to see Arkansas State and Arkansas after all those decades of arguing and jockeying to try to get it done.
And it wasn't done by the legislature. It was Hunter Yurachek.
Yeah. Do you think it will happen again after this year?
I think the governor has a big play. I think the only way it happens if it's truly an event on Saturday.
Yeah.
If we have an electric atmosphere before the game, even if the game isn't close, even if it's 45-20, but if we have an atmosphere like we had years ago,
Arkansas coming together and hanging out.
Yes.
Well, even the UAPB game you sort of felt that, even though it was a mismatch on the field.
Yeah.
You sort of liked the fact Arkansas came together, had a good day of football.
Yeah.
We took care of business, and they got a check.
The UAPB band making its
was
way
great.
in.
You bet. You bet.
And it's I think the governor will have a say. I think.
No, I think if the governor decides to put her foot down and say, I want to see this, it's hard for somebody to say. A lot of people say the governor should keep their nose out of an athletic department. Maybe so, but that's the way politics works sometimes. I
think the only way she can make a case for it if Saturday we have an environment like we haven't had there in years.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, here's the deal: War Memorial Stadium has to deliver.
Yeah.
Not run out of water, not taking 5 hours to get everybody in the stadium. Get people in the stadium. Get people in the stadium. The worst thing I see is the game is 10 minutes away and
you're looking down
10,000 people out there. Yeah.
Well, the pressure's on them too.
Yeah, you bet. The stadium scoreboard work. Don't mess up.
Anything that goes wrong is going to be magnified.
Yeah, it is.
Especially if the game doesn't turn out the right way.
Yeah. But hey, what a first weekend, Sully.
Yeah.
Right, Texas goes down. Alabama goes down. LSU looks great. Clemson goes down.
Hey, what do you think, Alabama? You think they're definitely going down now, or do you think?
Well, I watched some of the film of that, and
they got pushed around by Florida State.
I think I'm more impressed with what Gus Malzahn has done. That quarterback, he looks like the Nick Johnson kid that he had when he went to the national championship with Auburn. Yeah, they look tough, and Alabama just got smacked in the mouth. I think, you got to. If you're Alabama, you got a reason to be concerned.
Yeah, if I'm picking someone to win the SEC on 1 week alone, it's LSU. Nussmeier looked good. Their defense was nasty.
They look good. Georgia looked good, even though it cost me two.
But Tennessee played well.
Tennessee looked good. And listen, Auburn looked good at Baylor.
That's a good win for Auburn.
It is. Ole Miss. Again, Ole Miss. Nobody's talking about Ole Miss. Watch out. Ole Miss is pretty tough too. In Florida, you got Florida that's going to be good this year. So
how'd you make out in your picks on week one?
I was one of four. I got one right, missed three. Missed the Razorbacks. I missed Georgia by 0.5. Missed the Razorbacks by 1.5. And Oklahoma disappointed me. I picked Oklahoma to cover, and they did not against the team that they should have, Illinois State. And so, but you know what? It's a long season. Follow me on the Oakland Sports app. You know what? Maybe a good idea to bet against me, but I downloaded it today. We appreciate them for all of our coverage. What coverage? Not only this past weekend, Sully, but coming up.
Yes.
We're going to be all over the stadium.
I'll be out there 9 to 11, a complete daybreak out at the stadium.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll have reports prior to the game, halftime, after the game.
Yeah, listen,
I stepped up our game, got a real microphone, can have a shorter mic cord this week.
Yes. Listen, I think we did more live hits this past weekend in one game. We did 3 Friday night, 4 Saturday morning, 3 with you. So doing our best to bring to you. Thanks to Oakland Sports for sponsoring that.
And this is pretty wild. First time.
Yeah, we need to get the dust off of it here. Get the dust off of it.
It's never been done here. So.
There we go.
It's just going to be a lot of fun on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I appreciate you. Touchdown Club.
Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah,
that should be. Listen, I did a lot of studying on him. I mean, you can make the argument the greatest defensive player in the history of the game.
One of the greatest players ever.
Yeah, you can make one of the. He was MVP, league MVP as a defensive player. Only a couple have done that.
Yeah, I get to do your intros.
Yeah,
that video at North Carolina.
I know.
Why were they playing him at defensive line for 2 years?
They switched him at you got two guys. You got LT and MJ, and they're both buddies. That's how dominant of a player he was for 13 years in the NFL too. Yeah. So that'll be tomorrow, Tuesday at the Touchdown.
Who's next week?
That is Darren McFadden.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Going from great to great to great. I'll have no trouble finding video.
I know.
All right. Appreciate you, Baz.
All right.
Go
Hogs.
All right. We'll be there. It says this will hit Tuesday, by the way. Thanks for tuning into the Hog Central Podcast.